Sega Dreamcast. Oh, I have such nostalgia for this machine. Oh, hang on. It's not going to remember the date and time because, yeah, the CMOS battery is dead in it. Now, this is actually original hardware, and I've found it buried in my cupboard. Still in its box as well. The box is in a bit of tatters, but yeah, the console seems to be working fine other than the CMOS battery. So let's just quickly do the time, and then we can get into it. We're just gonna have a quick look at the interface today, I think. So here we go. Oh, yeah, gone straight to the music CD player because I've got the CD in there. But yeah, the interface. Look at that. Sega's last swan song before the outage of the console was. So yeah, absolutely trampled by PlayStation 2. And they kind of ruined it for themselves, really, if we're honest. The Mega Drive was a huge success for them. Then they added the Sega CD, which was very interesting, but flooded with loads of stupid FMV supposed games, air quotes sort of thing. They were garbage, most of them. And then the Sega 32X, which they launched just before the Sega Saturn. Which was pointless. So by which time people were getting a bit peeved off with them, and then they released the Sega Saturn early before it was supposed to be released, which upset a lot of retailers. And yeah, they just completely messed it up. By which time a lot of people lost faith in them. Again, they got trampled by the Sony PlayStation. They didn't stand a chance. They released this before the PlayStation 2 was launched, and they got a bit of a head start on it. And this was actually it was an advanced console for its time. Online features, dial-up, it wasn't until later they introduced a broadband adapter. And unfortunately, on my device, I still only got the dial-up device. I don't think we got broadband adapters for Dreamcast here in the UK, but yeah, but the interface. So memory card manager, I've actually got 4 controllers. I've got 3 memory cards, 2 VMU ones, and 1 third-party multi-slot memory card. But yeah, look at that. Crazy Taxi 2, Fighting Vipers 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And yeah, according to them, the last time I played them, back in 2009. So yeah, that gives a bit of an indication of how long this has been sat out of the way for. But I have so much nostalgia for this console. I've got hundreds of games for it, and I'm really I'm planning on covering quite a few games on my channel in addition to my regular content. But I have so much nostalgia for this console. It's just unreal, and some absolutely awesome games for this machine. I do love the Sega Dreamcast. Now, I'm very much aware you can emulate. I've got an emulator on my NVIDIA Shield TV. Is it Redream, I believe? I also paid for the premium license for it, so I can do HD upscaling, and it's a really good emulator. I love it. But emulation is not perfect, and you'll end up with issues. And so when I do coverage for my Dreamcast games, I'm going to be using the original hardware, of which I've got connected into a HD video converter, a little box where the RGB goes in. HDMI goes out, goes into my capture card, which then goes into my laptop, which then goes into my TV. Yeah, bit of an interesting setup, but it works. So yeah, but if we go in settings, just got language. It's not really all that feature packs when you think about it, compared to today's consoles, which are all like full of weird settings for all scaling, all sorts of things. The Dreamcast, yeah. Stereo mono settings, no surround sound, unfortunately. Auto start for if you have a game disc inserted into the console, you turn it on and it boots straight into the game. I have it switched off. Adjust the memory card clock, which will be, that'll be synchronized with the console. Now, I have looked into how to fix the clock issues for the Dreamcast when starting it up, because it is a pain that it constantly asks for the time every time I turn it on. But yeah, it involves replacing the CMOS battery inside, which is soldered. And yeah, it can be done. Unfortunately, I think that's probably a bit beyond me, so I won't be doing it myself, I don't think. But yeah, music player. I think this was actually a bit of a step down from the Sega Saturn version, if I'm honest. The Sega Saturn version had some visualizers which interacted with the music, and they were pretty cool. This one, a very simple one, so I'm not going to play too much of the music on this because it's copyrighted. But yeah, you got your play, pause, skip forward, skip back, um, double skip back, and then we got your stop as well. You've got the repeat option with repeat one track, repeat all tracks. It doesn't really interact with the music. At least I don't think it does. So if let's just skip one or two tracks. So find a nice loud one. No, doesn't. So yeah, it doesn't really interact with the track, which is a bit unfortunate. And you can press all the buttons you want, it won't do anything exciting. So very simple, basic music player on the Dreamcast there. But that's not really what you buy the console for. You bought it for the games. Now, I haven't got a game disc inserted at this time, but I do plan on having games inserted into it and showing them on my channel alongside all my other content, because I've got an urge and I've got to scratch the itch for some nostalgia. And I've got so many games, I've got hundreds of games to cover. Well, I'm not going to cover each and every one of them because some of them are absolute garbage, but there are a lot of games that I loved on the Dreamcast, which I intend on covering over due course on the channel, and I can't wait to do it. And I also considering covering some other retro games as well, particularly arcade, PlayStation 1 and stuff like that. Now, admittedly, those others will be emulation because I don't have the original hardware for them. But it is what it is. But when it comes to the Dreamcast, though, I do intend on using the original hardware, and it's just going to be unrivaled quality. Picture quality maybe not so much for everybody because it's not going to be full HD, but it's going to be scaled. But yeah, you're going to see it as it was originally intended, and it's just going to be absolutely awesome. Well, anyway, this was just a quick look at the interface for the Sega Dreamcast, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please smash the like button, hit subscribe, and why not ring that little bell to be notified of future content, because I will be planning on covering more. Actually, just covering Dreamcast games. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!